mean, man, it was a good fight, man. Especially like the last 2 rounds were really gonna end like the early rounds, you know. But I mean, bro, Benavidez' pressure was strong, man. Good fight, real good fight.
Rolly Romero has never been one to shy away from bold opinions, and his reaction to David Benavidez' dominant performance against David Morrell proves just that. After witnessing Benavidez tear through Morrell with incredible speed and power, Romero wasted no time in offering his thoughts on the outcome. David Benavidez and David Morrell gave fans a thrilling showdown on Saturday night at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Benavidez came out on top, securing a unanimous decision victory with scorecards of 115 to 111 times 2 and 118 to 108 in what was undoubtedly one of the most intense and action-packed fights of 2025. Ring Magazine wasted no time in reacting to the fight, tweeting immediately after it ended. David Morrell knocks David Benavidez down in round 11. Morrell then loses a point for hitting after the bell at the end of the round. Following the loss, David Morrell shared his immediate reaction, expressing a mix of satisfaction with his effort and disappointment with the outcome. He acknowledged that while things didn't go as planned, he was still proud of the work he had put in throughout the fight. Morrell was gracious in defeat, offering congratulations to Benavidez for his performance, but also reflecting on his own journey and the lessons learned from the battle.
No, pues me siento súper contento con el trabajo realizado. No salió como teníamos pensado, se preparó bien. Como siempre se ha dicho, solamente un David se trae victorioso, en este momento fue él. Felicidades para él y para su equipo de trabajo. Y nada, simplemente seguir trabajando, seguir esforzándonos más y para obtener la victoria en un futuro cercano.
On the other hand, David Benavidez reflected on his performance after the fight, expressing confidence in his preparation and effort. He knew the fight would be tough, which is why he trained intensely. Despite the trash talk leading up to the fight, Benavidez emphasized that the spectacle lived up to expectations. The fight sold out, and many fans tuned in for the pay-per-view, which he believed made it a success. He was proud of showcasing his level, highlighting his ability to land numerous punches against a top-tier fighter like Morrell.
Yeah, I feel really good, man. I knew it was going to be a hard fight. That's why I trained extremely hard. You know, we're talking a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, we sold the shit out the fight. You know, a lot of people want to see, a lot of people bought pay-per-view, and it was a great fight. You know what I mean? I think I showed what level I'm on. You know what I mean? I don't know what percentage I landed at, but I landed a lot, you know, against a great fighter.
Des Bryant praised David Benavidez for consistently proving why he deserves the big fights. He pointed out that Benavidez has earned his Mexican Monster nickname for a reason, emphasizing his relentless and tough nature in the ring. According to Bryant, Benavidez has been pushing hard, stepping up to fight quality opponents to showcase his skills and establish his dominance. He also acknowledged David Morrell as a talented fighter, but still underscored Benavidez's ongoing determination and impressive performances as key factors in his pursuit of top matchups.
I think Benavidez, he keeps showing why he deserved the fight, and he won it. You know, they call him Mexican Monster for a reason. You know, Benavidez, he a dog. You know, he been chasing it. You know, he been stepping up, fighting quality opponents just to show who he is. And Morrell, hell of a fighter.
Terrence Crawford, known for his insightful analysis, simply stated that was a good fight, acknowledging the high level of competition and excitement throughout. Devin Haney, caught up in the intensity of the fight, couldn't contain his excitement and posted Benavidez, showing his appreciation for the power and aggression displayed by Benavidez. Gervonta Davis, watching David Morrell for the first time, was taken aback by his speed and athleticism, remarking, "This my first time seeing Morrell fight, son quick to be that size." Showtime Sean Porter, another boxing expert, shared his enthusiasm, saying, "What a war that was." Before the fight, Sean Porter had already predicted a close contest between the two fighters, calling it a 50-50 matchup, with a slight edge for Benavidez at 55-45. He expressed his excitement for the clash between the two Davids, praising the fight for its potential. He highlighted that while both fighters were formidable, Benavidez had the advantage in terms of experience and natural strength, noting that Benavidez was more of a true 175-pounder compared to Morrell.
That's 50-50 right there. If anything, 55-45 for Benavidez. I love David versus David. I love everything about the fight. The thing I feel that Benavidez has over Morrell is experience, is true strength. You know, both of those guys are big guys, but I think Benavidez is more of the natural 175-pounder.
Jim Lampley analyzed the key factors that led to Benavidez's victory over Morrell, noting how Morrell's strategy of staying in close range to land quick punches to Benavidez's head seemed promising early on. However, Benavidez's relentless body attack and roundhouse shots ultimately overwhelmed Morrell.
It's interesting because one of Morrell's cornerman, Bob Santos, told me yesterday in the media room, if David can keep the fight right in front of him within a tight range, if he can have a straight-on angle to go at Benavidez and try to catch him with quick shots upstairs, he'll have a chance to win the fight. And I think that in the late rounds, you could see that that was good thinking. But what he didn't have was any way of defending effectively against Benavidez.
Lampley pointed out that Morrell struggled to defend against Benavidez's power, particularly to the body, and failed to land any significant body punches himself, which was a critical mistake. As the fight progressed, it became clear that Benavidez's superior body shots played a major role in his dominance.
At the end of the day, if there's one thing Morrell should have learned tonight, throw body punches. That's the way to win big fights. I went into the 10th round saying on PPV.com that I didn't think I had seen Morrell land a single meaningful body punch in the fight.
There was one round that he didn't score any punches, the 6th.
Benavidez landed bushels of body shots. That's what won him the fight.
Lampley also highlighted how Benavidez's performance against Morrell stood out compared to his previous fights with Andre and Caleb Plant. While he acknowledged Plant's skill, he believed Morrell presented a tougher challenge due to his counterpunching ability and Cuban technique. In Lampley's view, Benavidez's win over Morrell was his most impressive yet, as it demonstrated his ability to handle a higher level of opposition.
Well, I think that Morrell's a better opponent than Andre and Caleb Plant. And I like Caleb Plant, and we're friends, but at the end of the day, I think this was a higher talent level with Morrell. You know, you're talking about a counterpuncher with power, with Cuban technique training and stuff like that. So I think this is Benavidez's most impressive win so far.
Trevor McCumbee had an interesting take on the fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell. While praising the overall action, he reflected on the moment when Benavidez was dropped. McCumbee acknowledged the knockdown, but he didn't believe it truly impacted Benavidez, as he wasn't hurt by the punch. He also pointed out that the knockdown didn't change the course of the fight, as Benavidez still won by decision.
Man, tremendous fight. It was a great fight.
Listen, we still don't know who won. I mean, logic would tell you most people are going to have Benavidez winning this fight, but since we don't know yet, who do you think won the fight?
Benavidez. Yeah, he won it by decision. And then, you know, that one knockdown, that was a knockdown. Then he had that point deducted, Morrell did. So it came out to a 9-8 round, so it's not going to affect him much.
On the point deduction against Morrell, McCumbee thought it balanced out, noting that the punch thrown by Benavidez after the bell might have triggered Morrell's retaliation. He believed Morrell was simply defending himself after Benavidez landed a few shots past the bell.
What is your opinion on the point deducted from Morrell? Did you think that was the right decision by the ref, or do you think that he landed a punch, you know, at an awkward time?
I thought it canceled out well. I didn't think it was, technically it was a knockdown, but it didn't really hurt Benavidez. And then, you know, I think Morrell was just defending himself. Benavidez threw a few shots after the bell, so, you know, Morrell just reciprocated that.
David Benavidez Sr. found the moment both thrilling and intense. While he admitted to being scared when his son was dropped, he believed it was more of a balance issue than a knockdown from a powerful punch. For him, the moment added excitement to the fight, making it more dramatic for the fans. Despite the scare, Benavidez Sr. was proud of how his son responded, showing why he's called the Mexican Monster.
You know, I gotta go watch it. In my opinion, you know, I was turning around. I think it was more like off balance. But that's exciting, you know, when somebody, you know, David's winning the whole fight, then he kind of gets dropped. It's exciting. People are like, whoa, you know, shit, if I was watching home, I'd be like, damn. And then I look at him and he's standing up, smiling, like, come on, you know, I got scared, you know, so I think Morrell's like, what the you know? So I think these are the kind of fights that the fans deserve, you know? They want to be entertained.
However, when questioned about being hurt during the fight, Benavidez was quick to dismiss the idea. He acknowledged that Morrell did land some good shots, but he never felt genuinely hurt.
But were you ever hurt in the fight?
No, I wasn't ever hurt. Morrell, he landed some good shots, but, you know, I don't think like that, bro. I don't really think that I'm hurt, you know what I mean, or nothing like that. He landed some good shots. There were some rounds he landed some good shots, but I mean, I landed better shots.
Rolly Romero's analysis truly captured the raw energy of the battle. Romero emphasized how Benavidez's relentless pressure wore down Morrell. While Morrell was tough and showcased impressive defense early on, Benavidez's high output and power dominated. His non-stop aggression was simply too much for Morrell to handle.
Hey man, it was a good fight, man. Especially them last 2 rounds were really good in the early rounds, you know. But I mean, bro, Benavidez's pressure was strong, man. A good fight, real good fight.
Romero acknowledged Morrell's skills, especially his sharp one-punch knockout power, but also pointed out the limitations of his single-punch approach against Benavidez's constant assault. By the final rounds, Romero felt Benavidez cemented his dominance, with those late rounds being some of the most thrilling of the fight.
The second half of the fight, he got cracked. That Mexican dude was tough. Yeah, that Mexican dude was real tough, man. Hey, you know, it was a real good fight.
Before the action even began, Romero had a solid understanding of both fighters' styles. He described Benavidez as a pressure fighter with an overwhelming volume of punches, while Morrell was known for his speed and sharp knockout power.
I feel Benavidez is the more like output, like, you know, like the more output puncher. But I think the more one-punch puncher is Morrell, and the more snappy one-punch puncher is Morrell.
Yeah.
Like I said, like power is like like, you know, there's different kinds of power, you know.
Romero also alluded to the tension between the two, recognizing the drama that built up around the fight. This made the bout one of the most eagerly anticipated in recent time, with Romero predicting an explosive and dramatic showdown, and the fight certainly lived up to the hype.
We're gonna have to see. That's a tremendous fight, man. That's a fight I've been waiting for, man. These motherfuckers, they hate each other. You got people throwing belts at each other. We all they don't like each other.
He missed too with that throw, didn't he? That's kind of hard to throw a belt. Those belts are awkward though. They don't really go through the air. Yeah.
Hey, I don't know who wins that fight, but I just know some shit's gonna go down.
No, it's gonna be a fun fight for sure, bro. For sure. How do you think it's gonna play out though? Is it?
I got David.
Before the highly anticipated fight between David Benavidez and David Morrell, other boxing experts were also divided on who would emerge victorious, each offering their unique insights and predictions. Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas, speaking on his YouTube series The Fight Plan, analyzed how Morrell could secure a win. Atlas emphasized the importance of counter-punching and suggested that one of Morrell's best opportunities would come from enticing Benavidez into throwing his powerful right hand from too far away. If Morrell could make Benavidez reach with that right hand, it would open up the perfect moment for a counter right hook.
Morrell has to find something that he can do to land in this fight on a consistent basis. And one of those things that I think he could find is, well, we'll jump right to a counterpunch opportunity. And if he can entice Mr. Benavidez to throw a big right hand, but he can entice him to throw it from too far away. By stepping out, get him to reach a little bit with it.
While the strategy was risky, Atlas believed it had the potential to be a game changer, with the possibility of stunning Benavidez and shifting the fight in Morrell's favor.
And the best counterpunch for a southpaw is usually the right hook.
Cuban boxer Andy Cruz highlighted Morrell's unique character and fighting style. Cruz, known for his own charismatic approach to the sport, drew parallels between himself and Morrell, describing the Cuban fighter as typical, always smiling and dancing, reflecting an infectious confidence in the ring. However, Cruz didn't downplay the difficulty of the fight and predicted a knockout victory for Morrell, believing his focus and determination would be too much for Benavidez. Carl Frampton, another respected figure in boxing, also shared his thoughts on the matchup. Frampton recognized the immense talent of both fighters and praised their courage in taking on such a high-stakes challenge. Although he found it difficult to predict a winner, Frampton emphasized Benavidez's consistency and resilience, qualities that had made him a standout in the division.
Great fight as well, really good fight. It's great to see this, isn't it? I mean, boxing's flying at the minute, but I really rate Benavidez. Hard to look past him, that one for me.
Trainer Dave Coldwell also weighed in on the discussion, praising Morrell's unbelievable talent in the super middleweight division. He admired Morrell's technical mastery and fluidity in the ring, acknowledging the Cuban's rapid rise in the division. Coldwell also recognized the difficulty of predicting a winner, noting that Benavidez's experience and established dominance in the weight class couldn't be overlooked. Both fighters had strengths that could tip the balance, making it a difficult fight to call.
That's a fight that's going to probably in danger of going under the radar, but what a good fight. If you don't know who David Morrell is, go and watch him on YouTube. Very, very good fight. Having said that, both fighters, for me, the best performance has been at super middleweight. Morrell at super middleweight, unbelievable talent. His fighter, I think, he had just had one fight at light heavy. And he was like, okay, not the same man. So, I don't know. But Morrell's a talent. Benavidez is very, very good. Unbelievable fighter. That's just a really good fight. I can't wait. I can't wait to see that fight. Who do I think wins it? Right now, I don't know. Because it's the new weight division. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch a bit more. Put each other in both.
Some sided with the experienced Benavidez, while others believed Morrell's explosive power and unique style would give him the edge in this thrilling showdown. After the fight, Devin Haney had strong words of praise for David Benavidez, calling him a monster and acknowledging his impressive performance. When asked about who he would like to see Benavidez fight next, Haney suggested that Canelo should face both Benavidez and himself, hinting at potential blockbuster matchups.
Devin, what'd you think?
Benavidez is a monster. I fuck with Benavidez.
Who would you like to see him fight next?
Huh?
Who would you like to see him fight next?
Canelo. Better be it.
Haney also made it clear that he's setting his sights on some big challenges in the near future. He called out Jose Ramirez, urging him to get ready for what could be a highly anticipated showdown. On top of that, Haney made it known that he's targeting a future fight with Ryan Garcia. The mention of Garcia highlights Haney's hunger for top-tier competition in the lightweight division.
Both of them.
All right, what do you tell Jose Ramirez?
Get ready, we're coming.
We're probably going on. What about Ryan? What do you tell Ryan?
I'm coming.
Similarly, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney are also set to face each other in the future, but before that happens, they must first go through their respective opponents, Romero and Jose Ramirez. Ryan Garcia had previously hyped up the Cruz fight, even tweeting about it, "I'm bringing an explosive fight in my fight comeback." Pitbull Cruz has always been considered a tough opponent, tougher matchup than Haney, to be honest. Garcia had also expressed admiration for Cruz in interviews, praising his aggressive style and big presence in the ring despite his losses.
Yes, in May. We're going to be fighting there. So it'll be good, man. Just another big fight. So I'm ready to do it. I mean, Pitbull's is still a great fighter. He may have lost one time, but, you know, fans love him. He's a big fighter, you know, he's a big fighter, so I'm excited.
He even mentioned that he and Cruz had been scheduled to fight multiple times in the past, but those opportunities never materialized.
Yeah, me and Pitbull, we were supposed to fight many occasions, but never went down.
Now the focus has shifted to Rolly Romero, although this match might not hold the same level of intrigue as the Garcia versus Cruz showdown would have. Despite that, Punch Drunk Boxing has pointed out the silver lining, acknowledging that Romero's controversial personality adds an extra layer of excitement to the fight. Punch emphasized that Romero's trash talk, which got him the opportunity to face Gervonta Tank Davis, will certainly keep fans entertained as he faces Garcia.
But now we got Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. And the good thing about it is that it's going to be a lot of promotion now, because Rolly, let me say it like this, his mouth is what got him the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. His mouth is the reason why he's in the position where he's at in the sport of boxing. And yes, he did lose to the Pitbull Cruz and stuff like that. Yeah, in the end of the day, Rolly Romero mouthpiece is needed in the sport of boxing.
Many were impressed by Benavidez's performance, with figures like Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis, and Showtime Sean Porter offering praise. However, the excitement didn't stop there, as Rolly Romero also took the opportunity to reflect reflect on his upcoming showdown with Ryan Garcia. Romero, who had been calling out Garcia for years, expressed his eagerness, saying he had been waiting for this fight for a long time and was finally very filled to see it come to fruition. Similarly, Devin Haney added his thoughts on his upcoming fights. With these high-profile reactions and upcoming fights in the spotlight, the boxing world is buzzing with excitement, eager to see what these fierce matchups will bring. Do you agree with Rolly Romero's comments on the David Benavidez versus David Morrell fight? And are you excited for the Ryan Garcia versus Romero fight? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for the latest boxing update.